discover full blossoming or bloom of the Buddhahood. That's what foretold. And for those reasons, in the teaching, say in the Nyingma schools of Tibetan Buddhism, talks about the 9 Yana teachings, 9 different levels of teachings. And not just even that, even before that, what Buddha gave the teachings on the human beings and God's realms, teachings. That means what? That means because the Buddha gave the teaching that can connect it to have to discover the higher potentials of their they call it as to take the rebirth in the human realms and as well as God realms. Those are the teachings said in Sanskrit word. I'm not really good at Sanskrit, but if I use that word, Manushya Yana and Deva Yanas. Manushya is human beings and Deva is God's Yana. So that means, what are those Yanas? Those are basic goodness. Those goodness. For example, 10 virtues. 3 by the, I'm not going to list, you all know that. 3 by the body, 4 by the speech, and 3 by the mind, all together known as 10 virtues. 10 virtues. Opposite of that is 10 non-virtues. That you know. 10 virtues is not just a kind of exception to the Buddhism. According to Buddhism, that is human. Every human, decent human, really believes, follow with that. That's Buddha taught. That is the foundation of actually all the teachings. Buddha teaching is based on the good conduct, the good nature of the way things are in the world, and then improved or expanded, developed. So 10 virtues. And then together with that, such as, and so with that, for example, those are paramitas. Also people do those. Even non-Buddhists has paramitas. Not transcendental paramitas, but paramitas. Those are known as also. What are those paramitas? Of course, many of you already know. But generosity, moralities, patience, and joyful effort, concentration, wisdoms. They have, everyone believe those. Everyone do those. Everyone do generosities. Everyone do good conduct. Everyone talking, even the political talking conducts. This all that becomes so popular. Conduct is morality. And then patience. Patience is also tolerance, patience. Those are. And then the effort. Effort is important. That is also measured. And then the concentration. That be mindfulness. Now talking more mindfulness, all this. Yes. And then wisdom, knowledge, understanding those. That's why the terminology exists in every country does. Because they have that. It's human value. But Buddha teaching is more expanded, more stronger, more deeper. But when we have those good qualities of human beings, what in the teaching said? It will, everything has a result, cause and result. It will bring higher rebirth in the next life. Even in this life, we will have good life, peaceful, more content, more kind of soothing lifetimes. And that result will have good rebirth in the next life. Not 3 lower realms, but higher rebirth, such as human realms and God's realms. Those are really teachings. And those are known as the regular best. Above that, then the teaching. What in the teaching? Extraordinary teachings. Then, such as Buddhism. Above that, then the paramata practices, which based upon the transcendental paramata practices. And then those are what mean? No ego clingings or no attachments. And widely performing that. Without the discrimination, all those Buddha's instructors in the teaching mentioned. then it becomes high. And that goes higher and higher and deeper, and those are known as then Charvaka Yanas, Buddha Yanas. And as well as Bodhisattva Yanas goes higher, and deeper, And also the realization of those different levels, such as in a human yana or the world, the good yanas, it didn't really talk about any emptiness, anything, nothing. But then in the Arhata Yanas, egolessness. Those are the spiritual Buddhist teaching, egolessness. And particularly Buddha Yana teaching, mentioning, always teaching said, the egolessness state of the subject and the objects, half of the objects. I'm sorry, I think I mixed it up again. And in Partayana Buddha, you have the realization of the emptiness of the object and subject is half of that. So they always say the emptiness, realization of the one and half. And in the Mahayana teaching, then all the emptiness status. That's what means. It's not just emptiness, completely blank status. And everything is as a taught teaching as two truths. True truth. Relative truth is as the displays, illusion displays of the absolute truth. Or relative truth is the magic, dream, and reflection moon in the waters. And as well as like dream. Those are these relative truths that existing, but our self, the regular duality or our self being clinging, grasping so strongly that but reality it is really like illusions. Not just the object is illusion, but also mind is illusions. Subject and object are all illusion status in the relative levels. All are connected. Also, so many factors. Those are known as interdependent coordinations or interconnected. Or I think the better word. That all arises. And each of those, then absolute level is in the empty. Empty is beyond existence. All empty, there's nothing to hold. But yet, it is appearing. Therefore, it's called magical display, dreamlike displays. That is like Mahayana teachings. Really, of course, you all know. I'm just saying those things as when they remind us to all about them. In the Vajra teaching, then that extended, not just only that, empty, but now in the teaching explaining the kind of enlightened status. Enlightened status. On the, not just say empty, but all this display, relative truth, are enlightened status. They are like mandalas. Those are in the teachings. And then when you go to the inner tantras, then they clearly explain song, poem is enlightened. Sound is enlightened. And the mind and the space are enlightened. Absolutely. And then in the Dzogchen teaching, said all is a display of the origin and nature. Very clearly, strongly. Origin and nature of our mind. Each of our mind is created our perception, our conceptions. Is reflecting back. So that means 5 aggregates. All is a creation of each of our mind, or origin and nature of the mind. It created. And that is creation. Mind is enlightened, therefore it is creation is enlightened state. Those clearly explain. So among these teachers, that's what the great teacher Buddha taught. On high level, in the teaching say the teachings are taught as a staircase. All that staircase, there's 9 staircases or 9 steps. But the first step, the second step is dependent to the first step. Third step is dependent on the first and the second step. So is it dependent? And therefore, Therefore, in the teaching, said what? In the Dzogchen teaching, even, that's getting Padma Samye said in the teaching, said to Khenpo Tsewang Rinpoche and student, even you have the highest realization as like sky, or the vastness realization as a sky, yet you will observe so thoroughly and carefully all the conduct levels. So we should, great practitioners should not ignore the conduct. Then we are disturbing our realizations and making completely kind of like contradictions, and that really will make then delay our realization. So therefore, everything is in enlightened state, but yet follow exactly the same as the way things are, externally, internally, and for that reason, great master also Nagarjuna said, if you have the good conduct of the human beings, then heaven is not far. If you are in heaven, the enlightenment or the nirvana is not far. So it's all connected, all dependent. If we have not good conduct, then we are falling back to the samsara. Even you have some intellectual understanding of the teachings and practices, that won't really support this. So that's how all is lined up this. And now we go with this, in this Dudjom Lingpa's teaching, or this teaching we will be talking, is Dzogchen teachings. And the Dzogchen is again, who taught this Dzogchen teaching? Again, according to Buddhism, Buddha Shakyamuni taught these teachings. Not in the regular form Buddha appeared in India, like as with begging bowl and or alms bowl with that customs. Buddha, those who are highly capable at readiness, Buddha appeared in the Dharmakaya status, Buddha summoned the Buddhas, or Buddha Vajra or the Vajra Sadhu status, and then transmitted this teaching to the retinue of the ocean language, retinue of the wisdoms. Ocean like wisdom, retinue of the wisdoms, such as 5 Dhyana Buddhas, and as well as all Buddhas. How he taught, or how Buddha taught, not by word, but not by the symbolics, by the wisdom state of the mind. My wisdom of mind was state is the mind transmitted without the word and the symbol, everything. About the Jimmy Dongyal, unborn quality, unborn qualities for the transmitted, transmitted, that teaching. Those are known as mind-to-mind transmissions. Mind-to-mind transmissions. Then also Buddha gave these teachings to the Sambhola levels. Again, such 5 Dhyana Buddhas. The Sambhola is also not just a kind of really big science and Sambhola things, but with magically through the again some indications and science and transmitted the teachings to the 5 Dhyana Buddhas, and such as then Vajrapanis, Manjushiris, and Avalokiteshwaras, all those names. And that's how they transmitted. So that is known, those are known as mind-to-mind transmission lineage, symbolic transmission lineage. Those are the very special terminologies, or special, not terminologies, special systems that explained in the Nyingma teachings, and those are in the Gohen Garba Tantra, or one of the Mahayoga Tantra known as Rgyud Jamso. In there said how they transmitted by the mind, by the symbol, and by the air, transmitted those teachings. And then this oral transmission lineage is then, for example, when that came, and it Kyoli teaching said this Dzogchen teaching came 28 years after Buddha's Shakyamuni's Mahaparinirvana, and then he started descending the Dzogchen teachings, particularly who discovered is the Garab Dorje, or Garab Dorje one who discovered or brought these Dzogchen teachings to these worlds. So then it's continued in that. Continued. And now the Dzogchen teaching itself is divided into three categories. And those, of course, you all know. But I'm talking this as, again, to gratitude of all these lineage teachings. So therefore, again, this teaching came from the Garab Dorje. And Garab Dorje, according to the teaching, discovered there are about over 1,600,000 Dzogchen teachings that he bought. And then Garab Dorje's foremost student is the Mengyü Mitra, and so he received all the teachings, and Mengyü Mitra divided that Dzogchen teaching into three. Of course, you all heard this so many times and know that from me and as well as other great masters, I'm sure. And those are known as then and the mind sections of Dzogchen teaching, and the space and the pit instructions. Those are three divided. And but Mengyü Mitra's foremost student is Sherik Dorje. And Sherik Dorje again received all the teachings, and he again subgrouped this teaching in 4 different ways, particularly of this pit instruction of the teachings. Those are known as outer, inner, and secret, and very secret. So 4 different. And this time, what we are practicing in this Dzogchen teaching of the Dudjom Lingpa's teaching and all the most Dzogchen teaching is really the pit instruction. Among that, not just the pit instruction, the outer, inner, secret, most essence. The most essence section of the teaching, that's what we really mostly we follow, that teachings. This teaching is then divided into 2 groups. Those are known as Trekchu practices and Toggle practices. You all know. We all heard that. Trekchu and Toggle practices. This teaching is then where it is. Those are known as, and there 17 Dzogchen Tantras that explaining of these, the very secret sections of these teachings. Dzogchen rgyud to be teachings. And there is a second one, or third, another one, that the 18th one is known as the Tantra of the Ekajati teaching, and that. And the next one is known as the Kungsam Varman, great blazing space section of the Tantras. So those are total, the very powerful essence of the teaching of the 19 Tantras, of this essence of the Dzogchen teachings. These teachings are then translated into Tibet in the time of the Tsewang Rinpoche. And who in time of Padma Samye, great master Shantaraki, who actually then taught these teachings. According to the Dzogchen history, the 3 great masters taught first time this the inner Tantra, the essence of the essence teaching to the Tibetan practitioners, by 3 masters. Those are known as, first is Vajra, the great translator, and the second is Guru Padma Samye, and third is the Brahman Mantras. When they give teaching, these Dzogchen teachings, particularly among that teaching, the first 2, the mind and the space section, is particularly really taught by the Yanas. And then second one, and not second one, sorry, the first and the second are taught by the Vajra, and pit instruction sections teachings and taught by the Guru Padma Samye and the Brahman Mantras. And those are, in the first time, Brahman Mantra give the teachings, not again with big groups, small groups. Tsewang Rinpoche and the Nyami Tengzang or Pui students, he give the teachings. And then Guru Padma Samye give this teaching Ishim Tsoja and Tsewang Rinpoche and his few sons. And particularly he entrusted one of the youngest daughter of the Tsewang Rinpoche passed away when he was 8 years old, but he brought back consciousness and he trusted entirely the essence of the sections of the Dzogchen teachings to her. So he received that. And most is hidden as termas teachings. So that's how Dzogchen teaching transmitted. And then it came. And then particularly later, great master Lingpa, who was the emanation or the reincarnation of the youngest daughter of the Khenpo Rinpoche, who received the completely entire teaching of the Dzogchen, the essence which is known as heart drop of the darkness. Khenpo Rinpoche to the youngest daughter, and Lingpa discovered or received that in teaching, and then Lingpa is really known as second Garab Dorje or the upstate or Garab Dorje upstate. He clarified, he condensed both everything perfectly in this the sections of the pit instruction sections of the Dzogchen teachings to the students. Those are known as 4 great Dzogchen teachings, or essence of Dzogchen teachings on Khenpo Rinpoche. So those are, the first one is Khenpo Rinpoche, which is the essence, heart essence teaching of the Padma Samye Ling. Second is known as the Mama Rinpoche, heart essence of Mama Mother, which is again Dzogchen teaching. And then he made the commentary, which is known as second Lama Yante and Khenpo Yante. It's true. And the essence of that, condensed that one, is known as the Samo Yante. Those teachings are Lingpa. And what those teachings explaining is Trekyu and Toga practices. Trekyu is cutting thoroughly technical course, and Toga is leaping over practices. So these two are the pit or the essence of the pit instruction sections. Now this Dudjom Lingpa's teaching is Dzogchen teachings of the both Trekyu and Toga teaching practices. It contains both of these teachings. And now what I thought to do myself, and I'm going to go over these teachings of the specifically of the Trekyu sections of these teachings. Toga section teachings is the seventh chapter or the 7th section of the Sherik Dorje Nӧnpo of sharp Vajra awareness, and maybe I won't go over that, because there's so many teachings of Toga teachings already, and I just feel that I don't have really capability to do these Toga teachings on the internet and the Zooms. Even though I don't feel comfortable and capability to give Toga teachings, but so many great masters are teaching, and I just also kind of follow with and honor lineage and honor to all the great masters of this order of those teachings. So I hope that I'm not making too much trespassing and going over really something totally out of range. So I was trying to do my best on this tricky part of the Dzogchen teachings, but Toga part of the teaching, Dzogchen teaching, as I said, I'm not going to talk over that. And as I said, I don't think so I have capability to do this on the internet or the Zooms, so that you all know that I'm just going to tell them. Now, Toga practice of this, Trekyu practices, what did the teaching say? That I'm talking, of course, the teaching will explain